Rebirth doesn't look like happiness at first. It looks like silence. It looks like distance. It looks like you choosing yourself without explaining why. After the pain, after the numbness, when something inside you wakes up, not loudly, not dramatically, quietly, you stop asking why it happened to you. You stop replaying old conversations. You stop needing closure from people who never gave you respect. And that's when rebirth begins. You realize something important. The past can't hurt you anymore unless you invite it back. So you don't. You don't chase apologies. You don't seek revenge. You don't prove your growth. You move forward without dragging yesterday behind you. Rebirth is when your standards rise and your tolerance drops. You don't explain your boundaries. You enforce them. You don't argue your value. You live it. You don't fear losing people who are already costing you peace. And suddenly, life feels lighter. Not perfect, not easy, but real. You begin to trust yourself again. Your instincts sharpen. Your energy protects itself. Your mind becomes disciplined. You choose where you invest emotions. You choose where you stay silent. You choose who gets access. That control is freedom. Rebirth changes the way you love. You stop overgiving. You stop chasing effort. You stop ignoring red flags just to feel wanted. You love with awareness now, with self-respect. Love doesn't meet you there. You walk away without bitterness because rebirth teaches you that peace is more valuable than attachment. People will notice. They'll see you've changed, that you're distant, that you're different. What they mean is, you're no longer available for manipulation. You're no longer broken enough to be controlled. And that makes some people uncomfortable. Let them be. Rebirth is not about proving strength. It's about living in it. You no longer crave validation. You no longer need applause. You no longer fear being alone. Because solitude built you. A stronger identity was born. You don't move in crowds anymore. You move with purpose. You don't react. You observe. You don't chase energy. You attract it. And the ones meant to stay, they stay effortlessly. Rebirth is realizing that your pain wasn't random. It was preparation. Preparation for clarity. Preparation for discipline. Preparation for becoming someone who cannot be easily shaken. You didn't lose yourself. You refined yourself. You didn't break. You shed what couldn't survive the pressure. And now, you stand with a calm confidence that doesn't seek approval. The world may not recognize you, but you do, because once you've been reborn, nothing has power over you except your own choices. And this time, you choose yourself every single time. They told you what you could be. They set limits. They laughed at your ambitions. But the truth, limits exist only in minds that accept them. Laughter only matters if you let it. The villain era begins not when you hurt others, but when you stop letting the world dictate your terms. When you stop pleading for acceptance. Stop asking permission. Stop explaining yourself to those who never cared. You've been pushed, tested, broken, and each scar, each betrayal, each mocking smile, they've all been building you into something unstoppable. The world thinks kindness is weakness. They mistake patience for passivity. They see empathy and call it vulnerability. They're about to learn the truth. Strength doesn't scream. It doesn't flash in lights or headlines. It moves silently, steadily, gathering power while others waste energy on noise. You've been silent too long, too quiet. But silence is dangerous when it's paired with vision, when it's paired with clarity. You've learned to see the patterns, to spot betrayal before it strikes, to anticipate lies before they land. Now you move differently. Every step calculated, every choice intentional. You don't need armies. You don't need alliances. You don't need approval. You are your own force. The villain era isn't about cruelty. It's about strategy. It's about knowing your value and refusing to let anyone diminish it. They think they can stop you. They think power comes from numbers, from mobs, from crowds, from chaos. They're wrong. Power comes from resolve, from patience, from mastery of self. Every betrayal you've faced has been a lesson. Every insult, every backstab, every dismissal, they've been fuel. You've turned pain into discipline, weakness into focus, fear into vision. Now the world will witness what happens when someone refuses to be a victim again. Not revenge, not chaos, but unstoppable momentum. You won't shout. You won't fight openly. You won't beg for recognition. You'll move in shadows, quiet, precise, inevitable. Every obstacle in your way, you've already outsmarted it. The villain era begins not with a roar, but with a decision. A decision to never be held back. A decision to act without hesitation. A decision to play by your own rules. And when they try to stop you, you won't pause. You won't doubt. You'll continue. Unstoppable. Because the unstoppable mind knows no fear, knows no doubt, knows only forward. Those who underestimated you, they'll see the shift too late. The era they thought they controlled has shifted. You are the storm. You are the strategy. You are the force they can't anticipate. The villain era isn't about being cruel. It's about being untouchable. About existing on a level where attempts to control you fail before they even begin. The unstoppable mindset doesn't beg. It doesn't cry. It doesn't compromise. It dominates the day quietly, efficiently, without theatrics. It's calm, patient, deliberate. Terrifies those who live by shortcuts, manipulation, and deceit. They'll call you cold. They'll call you ruthless. They'll call you a villain. Good, let them, because the villain era belongs to those who refuse to be broken, to those who learned that survival isn't enough. Power is the only language the world respects. You speak it fluently. The world made you a villain. The world tried to cage you, to define you, to diminish you. Now it's their turn to learn. You are the unstoppable mind. You are the storm. You are the era. And the era has only just begun. They laughed at you. They spat on your dreams. They left you in the dark, broken, alone. Let them remember that. The villain era begins not with mercy, not with hesitation, but with fire in your veins and cold in your eyes. You are no longer the one they can manipulate, no longer the one they can break, no longer the pawn in their pathetic little games. Every betrayal you suffered, every scar, every tear, every ounce of pain, it was sharpening you, forging you into something they cannot comprehend, something unstoppable, something dangerous. Kindness? Gone. Empathy? Only a weapon now. Fear? They'll see it, taste it, drown in it. You move differently now. Every step calculated, every word a trap, every action a strike before they even realize the wound exists. You don't ask, you don't wait, you take, you dominate. The villain era isn't about being cruel for the sake of cruelty. It's about control. Absolute, unshakable, untouchable control. It's about turning the world's chaos into your playground. They thought you were weak. They thought pain would destroy you. They thought kindness would make you soft. They were wrong. Every insult, every betrayal, every laugh at your expense. It's fuel, it's ammunition. It's the blade you now wield silently, sharply, irreversibly. The unstoppable mind doesn't plead. It doesn't bargain. It doesn't flinch. It hunts. It calculates. It conquers. Who thought themselves safe, they'll learn too late. You don't forgive. You don't forget. You only rise stronger, sharper, darker than they could ever imagine. They'll call you a villain. Good, let them. They created this monster. They forged this darkness inside you. The villain era doesn't scream. It doesn't advertise, until the world finally sees the shadow you cast. You've become the storm they cannot weather, the fire they cannot escape, the darkness they cannot light. When fear whispers in the halls of power, that's when you strike, not for revenge, not for justice, for dominance, for total control. They will kneel, they will crawl, they will beg. You will stand above it all, untouchable, undefeated, because you are the storm, the darkness. They were wrong. Every betrayal, they delivered every insult. They threw every smile hiding a knife. It all built you, piece by piece, scar by scar, pain by pain. You are no longer the one to be pitted, no longer the one to be used. You are the nightmare they created. The villain era begins now. You move silently. Every step is measured, every word a blade, every glance a warning they cannot read. Kindness? A weapon. Empathy? A trap. Fear, their currency. You are the collector. You've embraced the darkness inside. You've learned the rules of pain, and now you rewrite them. The ones who laughed at you, who spat on you, who left you for dead. They will see the consequences of underestimating the storm you've become. They will tremble. The unstoppable mind doesn't ask. It doesn't wait. It doesn't flinch. It calculates. It hunts. It conquers. Silently, patiently, with cold precision. Every lie you were told, every betrayal you endured, every single moment they thought they owned you. It is now your ammunition. You strike when they think the world is calm. You move when they are blind to the storm inside you. You take what they thought was theirs. You dominate what they never knew they should fear. The villain era is not about revenge. It is about control. Absolute, unshakable, untouchable control. It's about turning the world's chaos into your playground, your empire, your kingdom of shadows. Those who doubted you, those who mocked your pain, they will kneel, they will crawl, they will beg, and you will not stop. Not because you hate them, not because you seek revenge, because you are unstoppable, because you are untouchable, because you have become the storm itself. The darkness you carry isn't a burden anymore. It is a weapon. It is clarity. It is the unbreakable armor that shields you from every attempt to control you again. They think invincibility is theirs, but invincibility is lonely, and you have learned its rules. You do not fear pain. You do not fear betrayal. You do not fear death or the chaos around you. You have stared into the void of your own darkness, and instead of running, you've embraced it. And now the world will. They will never see you coming. Not the shadow behind the curtain, not the knife in the dark, not the storm waiting to consume their little world. They will scream, they will cry, they will fall. You are the nightmare born from their mistakes. You are the storm they thought they could control. You are the darkness they refused to understand. The villain era isn't loud. It doesn't need to be. It moves in silence, like a predator waiting for the perfect moment to strike. And when that moment comes, nothing can stop it. You've become the embodiment of fear, not for their deaths, not for their suffering, but for the power to rise above all of it, to survive when everyone else falls, to thrive when everyone else breaks. The world doesn't bend for kindness. The world doesn't pause for mercy. The world respects power, absolute, unshakable power, and you have claimed it. Your enemies thought they could play you. They thought their games would cage you. They thought their chaos would destroy you. They were fools. The villain era is yours. You are the hunter. They are the prey. Every betrayal they crafted. Every smile hiding poison. Every knife in the back. It all feeds the unstoppable mind. The mind that knows no mercy, no weakness, no compromise. You do not forgive. You do not forget. You do not falter. You only rise. You only strike. You only conquer. The world will learn. The storm they ignored, the darkness they created, was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to awaken the unstoppable force you have become. When chaos fades, when the screams die down, you will still be standing, not just standing, but towering above everything they thought they controlled. You are the storm. You are the darkness. You are the villain. The era has begun, and the world will burn.